Very good morning to all our wonderful brothers and sisters at the Buddhist Gem Fellowship. And before I begin, I'd like to thank BGF, Dato Sri Victor, the President, Brother Bobby Ng, the Deputy President, and the EXCO and members for inviting me. Actually, I'm not difficult to invite. The difficulty is in accepting. I explained that due to the workload that we have in various projects here and overseas, I was not able to come last year and had to wait until August to make it this year. But anyhow, I'm very, very glad finally to be able to come here to this very wonderful, beautiful, convenient center, yeah, and to meet with everyone this morning. Yeah, thank you. So before we proceed on, I'd like to invite everyone to honor the teacher, the Buddha, by the customary salutation. No? With a calm and devoted mind, let us together do the salutation to our teacher, the Buddha. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Sabbe satta bhavantu sukhi tatta. May all beings near or far, known or unknown, be well, be happy, and be peaceful. And may all of us too be well, happy, and peaceful. Sukhi hontu. Dear friends, a very good morning. Today we are going to discuss the Dhamma. So firstly, I'm going to give a little bit of exposition on the Dhamma topic that we are going to touch on today, which is reflection. And after which we have a long time for a question and answer. Today is also the full moon. So during full moons, it is customary for monks and nuns together to recite the disciplinary code and to discuss Dhamma and meditate. It is also customary for lay people to stay overnight in temples. In countries such as Thailand, in Sri Lanka, people stay overnight wearing all white at the temple, keeping the 8 precepts, offering dana, as well as meditation and learning, discussing, listening to the Dhamma. So today is a wonderful day for all those spiritual activities. That means after this, don't go to the mall. Have your lunch here in the cafe and then continue to discuss the Dhamma. Yeah. Yeah. Then you start going back to work and going to the mall tomorrow. Yeah. So occasionally we need to remind ourselves that we are Buddhist, that the role of a Buddhist is to learn, to practice, and to understand the Dhamma. But what is this Dhamma for? What is the purpose of us learning and practicing the Dhamma? Q&A means I question, you answer. What is the purpose of us learning and cultivating ourselves according to the Dhamma? Hmm? What is the purpose of having Dhamma in our lives? Hmm? To be happy? And what is the purpose? To be a better person? Yeah? Very good. Yeah. This side? Hmm? Attain Nibbana. Oh, that's the ultimate one. Yeah. What is attaining Nibbana? What does it mean? Hmm? Liberation. Liberation from what? From suffering. You see, all good Buddhists, huh? Very knowledgeable. The purpose, my dear friends, of learning the Dhamma is to know the way to end suffering. The purpose of practicing the Dhamma is to end suffering. Again, the purpose of learning the Dhamma is to know the way to end suffering. And the purpose of practicing the Dhamma is to end suffering. Dhamma is not learned for intellectual entertainment. Although it is quite interesting, stimulating, when we learn Dhamma, we learn concepts like anatta, we learn concepts like the Noble Truths and meditation. It gives people endless topics to talk about. But the real purpose of the Dhamma is not to talk about it, but it is to utilize it. To utilize this understanding of Dhamma to end suffering. Yeah. So, bearing that in mind, we have to approach Dhamma the right way. Yeah. We have to learn the Dhamma in order to see what causes suffering. When the Buddha talked about suffering, he talked about the causes of suffering. Yeah, many people know suffering. How many people here don't know suffering? Never experienced suffering before? Yeah? Anyone? Everyone has ample experience of suffering, various degrees of suffering. Not everyone suffers the same way. Not everyone suffers from the same things. But we have all experienced that. But although beings have experienced suffering, doesn't mean that we know the causes of suffering. Whenever we are unhappy, people ask us, "Hey, why are you unhappy today?" Him lo. He made me unhappy. The things he said made me unhappy. Yeah. So we ascribe the cause of suffering to something external. Yeah. We never really go deeper into the layers of suffering to know the real cause of suffering. Whenever there is something unhappy that we experience, we always blame the government, blame the society, blame other people. You know. But very seldom we really understand what is the cause. Many people even blame themselves. You know, why are you unhappy? Oh, myself, Lord, because of me, Lord. Because of I. Hey, why you never blame others? Because I'm Buddhist. Buddhists don't blame others, so I blame myself. That is also not true. So, in order to overcome suffering, the Buddha taught us to recognize the cause of suffering. If we misinterpret and ascribe wrongly the cause of suffering, we will never be able to overcome it. In order to overcome a sickness, we have to diagnose it properly. What is the cause of that sickness? Otherwise, when we go for operations, we remove the wrong organs. Yeah? Pain is felt here, but that is not the cause. So suffering can be symptomatic, but the real cause of suffering is to be understood. So, although the Four Noble Truths that the Buddha preached after his enlightenment seem very commonsensical, seem very simple, but it is very deep and very subtle. It is not just, oh, suffering, all beings suffer. It's not so simple as to reduce it to one line, to one sentence. It is something for us to understand suffering. What is suffering? It is very important for us to see the various levels of suffering. Does suffering stay the same? Does suffering change over time? What do we suffer from? These are all understanding that the Buddha had when he talked about dukkha. And similarly, the causes of dukkha. Yeah? In short, what causes a being unhappiness and suffering? It's not others, it's not oneself, but they are called kilesa. In English, defilements. It is defilements that cause beings suffering and unhappiness. And these defilements, plenty of you. Huh? Plenty of you, defilements. How many people have very few defilements here? Huh? Anyone? After years of practice, reduce. Have very few defilements, right? Or how many people still have plenty of defilements? Anyone? Yeah? Still have plenty of defilements. How many defilements are there? Not just a few dozen. There are plenty. And they have this combination of defilements that produces different degrees of suffering too. There is this permutation as well as combination of defilements that causes different kinds of mental unhappiness and suffering. So the real cause of our suffering, these defilements, we call them kilesa in Pali, impurities. The mind that is conditioned by ignorance drives our action towards fulfilling greed and our attachment. The way things are in the world is called Dhamma. What is Dhamma? Sabhava Dhamma. Whatever there is Dhamma. Meaning to say, life as it is called Dhamma. It is just the flow of sankhara. This is Dhamma, natural. Conditioned by ignorance, when we live through our lives, we have this notion of atta. Atta means I. So in the flow of life from day to day, this I arises. What do I want today? No. What do I own today? What do I do today? What do I desire? What do I possess? That I arises due to ignorance. When there is this conflict between Dhamma, that which is, and I, atta, then that conflict is called dukkha, suffering. So life as it is Dhamma. When there is I due to ignorance, that conflict between what I want and what really is, that is dukkha. That is why people who are liberated from dukkha, there is no I there. Arahants, for example. There is no I. Anatta. They understand. They realize there is no I. So, the life of an Arahant is just Dhamma. Just like the Buddha, he said, if you want to see the Dhamma, you just look at how I live. Yeah? Yo mamang pasati, so dhammang pasati. If you see me, then you see the Dhamma. Yo dhammang pasati, so mamang pasati. If you see the Dhamma, then you see me. There is no difference in the life of an Arahant because there is no I there. There is no dukkha. So everything is just according to Dhamma. Yeah. So when we have this ignorance, and all beings started off with ignorance, we will have the accompanying desire, attachment, and all other things. And over time, all these habitual wanting and clinging to form all kinds of defilements. So these defilements are the causes of our unhappiness and suffering. So the next time when we suffer, the next time when we suffer, we have to look within ourselves. The real cause of our suffering is not because we don't have enough money. I look around, I think everyone have too much money. Or just enough money. The real cause of suffering is not because we don't have money, because there are beings in the world that never carry money. But the real cause of suffering is because of something related to money. It could be the desire for more money. It could be the attachment to the money we have. It could be the expectation to the money we are going to have, and so on. So all those factors are kilesa. All those factors are defilements. It is not the object itself. So the cause of suffering is not money, but our So how we relate to money is the cause of our suffering. So when we understand that kilesa causes all this suffering, therefore when we practice Dhamma, it is to end this suffering. And therefore to end suffering, we have to slowly eradicate all these defilements. Now, defilements are sometimes different from person to person. What is an active defilement in one may not be the active defilement in another. We have all these latent defilements. For example, some people are prone to being greedy. Some people are greedy. Others are not. Others are prone to being jealous or angry. Some are prone to being attached, clinging to people, clinging to things. People carry different kind of defilements. We all have the same latent defilements due to ignorance, but what drives us, what operates us and causes the most pain and suffering may be different from person to person. So it's not everyone that displays greed. Not everyone is greedy to the same extent. Not everyone is cruel to the same extent. Not everyone is angry or jealous to the same extent. But you can see, driven by any of these or a combination of these defilements, people become unhappy and they suffer. So therefore, Dhamma is the path of slowly cultivating oneself, is the path of realizing, is the path towards liberation. So Dhamma is called a path because there is a journey involved. When we start off, we don't immediately reach the destination. There is a journey involved. And we walk that path in a gradual way. So the Dhamma was preached by the Buddha in a gradual way. The Dhamma, the Buddha said, is anupubha, one following the other. For those who are spiritually advanced, the Buddha can go faster. For those who are spiritually a novice, the Buddha will go slower. But fast or slow, it is all very gradual. So for lay people, what is our Dhamma every day? Just now we established already. The purpose of Dhamma is to end suffering. Or in our case, maybe to reduce suffering to such an extent that we can live a very happy life. Right? If we cannot eradicate suffering totally, then to reduce it to such a degree that we can call ourselves a very happy, satisfied human being. So what do we do every day as lay people? What can we do every day as lay people? As lay people, the daily practice and cultivation consists of three main aspects. We call it punya kiriyawatu. These three main aspects are dana, starting with dana, Sila and Bhavana. Dana means cultivating generosity. Yeah, it's not just giving things to people. It's not just offering things to people, but it is cultivating generosity with right views. Generosity must be accompanied with right views, right understanding. So this is the daily cultivation for lay people. Yeah. What is dana? Generally, it means sharing things with others. Everyone have possessions, but not everyone else who needs those things have it. So whatever we can share to alleviate the suffering, the lack of other people, we do it. So that is the spirit of dana. And dana is not done once a month or once a week at the temple. Dana is to be cultivated by lay people every day. Yeah? So every day try to share things. I also every day, as little as I have, I try to share with other people. Yeah. Yesterday I shared biscuits with people. Everyone who come, and then I give biscuits. And then day before I had some chocolates. So people gave me some chocolates. So I shared with everyone the chocolates. Every day we have something to share with others. If we can give to someone in need, then it's even more pertinent. It's even more relevant. It's even more important if we give to someone who is hungry rather than give to someone who is full. Yeah. So you can make the extra effort to find out who is in need of what, and what can I share with them. Do it every day. Yeah. Not just giving of material things, but also we can give a word of encouragement and kindness. When people are in fear, when they worry, give them some time, a listening ear. That is called abhaya dana. Abhaya. Abhaya means no fear. Bahaya means fear. In Malay, bahaya means danger. But the original language, bahaya, means fear. Abhaya means no fear. So you give them the confidence. Don't live in fear. Don't live with worries, and don't live with anxiety. Live free from it. Because having worries and anxieties, a lot of fear, is a lot of mental suffering. If we can relieve their mental suffering by giving some confidence, some encouragement, this is also dana. This is abhaya dana. I do this abhaya dana every day also. Yeah, every day on the phone or when meet people, give them some confidence. Oh, don't worry about that. This one is okay. Yeah. This is something that we can do. And Dhamma dana. Give people Dhamma. When they are ready, when their mind is very tranquil, when they are spiritually alert, give them the Dhamma. Dhamma dana is the highest dana, because all other things has an expiry date. Yeah, food, everything expired. Dhamma has no expiry date. Dhamma is the medicine that always works. It worked during the Buddha's time. It worked during the previous Buddha's time. It worked today. It will work tomorrow. So Dhamma can be shared after we learn it. Just little bit we talk about Dhamma. Whenever I go also, I'll talk a little bit about Dhamma. Passing by, seeing the journey along the way, just share a little bit of Dhamma. This is also something that lay people can do. So every day we can do amisa dana, share material things with people, give people a little bit of things. If you have flowers at home, give to your neighbors. Yeah. If you have some vegetables you plant, share with your relatives, with your friends. If you have some food, share with your colleagues. Learning to share reduces the defilements of selfishness. This is the most important point here. It's not if I give, towards the end of my life I'll be richer. Giving is good. Then I will go to heaven. And then even in heaven, my what you call vimana, my bungalow in heaven is bigger than others. Even in heaven, also want to compete. My bungalow is next to Devaraja Saka's bungalow, prime location. Doing dana is not because of the merits earned as well as the effects of merits, because that is not directly related to the purpose of Dhamma, which is to reduce suffering. Of course, when we do dana, everything has karma and pahala. When we do good deeds, the pahala is also bonus, what we get, happiness, satisfaction, fulfillment, as well as sometimes the support of other people. But that is not the real purpose. The real purpose is to tackle the causes of our suffering. That's defilements. And one of the strongest causes of suffering, very, very common in many people, is selfishness. Yeah? When we are selfish, we are unable to part with the things we have. We have a lot, but we are unable to part with it. Dana every day reduces selfishness bit by bit. Yeah? We erase the selfishness bit by bit. We reduce it, reduce it, reduce it. When we give to people, let's say we have extra vegetables we plant at home, and then we give to other people. When they appreciate, they smile, they say thank you, we feel very happy. When they say, oh, the vegetables are very nice, we feel more happy. Yeah? We feel the happiness seeing the reduction of this selfishness. Yeah? So when we are selfish, we know we are very unhappy. But when we reduce selfishness, we can see ourselves increasing in happiness. And this is the main purpose of doing dana. Again, when we give people assurance, when they are in fear, when they worry, when they have anxiety, we give them abhaya dana. When we give people that kind of assurance, we assure ourselves too. I think I give people very often assurance. So somehow psychologically, I stop worrying about things. Because we keep telling people, don't worry, this is temporary. Don't worry, this sickness can be cured. Don't worry, this is repairable. Your relationship is repairable. Don't worry, you can turn around. Think of Angulimala, he can also turn around. You kill only one end, don't worry. Yeah. Some people worry very much. Brother Tan, the other day, inadvertently, I kill a fly and so on. I really have no intention. Really, Brother Tan, sobbing. I say, they have to tell them about the story of Angulimala and tell them that it's okay. Now that you have remorse, you know that there is a transgression and you are overcome by remorse and regret. It is a good. It is a growth in your Dhamma. But you also have to move on from there. You are growing already, but then you cannot be stunted in your growth. You have to move on from there and grow even more. So because every day we share with people the Dhamma, every day we give people the assurance, what happens is, psychologically, there is a greater transformation in the giver. If you keep sharing things with people, giving people things and so on, you change for the better. Yeah, provided we have right understanding. Some people, they are so happy giving. They are addicted to it. Then they become obsessed with giving. Yeah, they give and give, but if without accompanying with right understanding, that giving is driven by what? It's driven by obsession. And later, it will manifest itself. Whatever defilements that drive us, it will manifest itself in suffering. Even in doing good, eventually people suffer if it is not accompanied by right view and right understanding. So this is the first thing lay people can do every day, not just once in a while, but every day. Yeah. Today, anyone did dana already? And it's not just giving money. Money and food, these are material things that are easiest to
to give away. Yeah. But beyond that, try to vary a bit the things that we give in order to experience the whole range of benefits of giving. We may not be attached to money after some time. When you have plenty of money, you're not so attached to money after some time, but you may be attached to other things. Things that are of lesser value even. Money is of higher value, but certain things are of a lesser value, such as your plants. Money you can give, okay, 1,000 I give to BGF. But the plant BGF want some put here, this one I cultivate from this small. So popoya. Learn also, have a variety of things that we can share with people, and try not to develop the defilement and the obsession over material things. Okay? And this has to be done in a gradual way, the daily way. When we do it daily, it has the effect of transforming us. Occasionally, when we do it, it's like exercising 3 days a year. Yeah. Wow, this year I feel very unhealthy, so I go exercising. And then for the next 4 months, no need to exercise. Yeah. The benefit of doing it irregularly is not as great as doing it daily. So this is the first thing we do, dana. The second thing as lay people is sila. Sila means virtue or morality. We have to take care of our morality. And basically, it is defined by the observance of the 5 precepts. With right understanding, when we observe the 5 precepts, we live also in an unselfish way. Without these 5 precepts to guide us, we sometimes unmindfully harm others, hurt others. Yeah? But when we are mindful, with right understanding, we observe this precept in order not to harm others. When we harm others, there is again the karma and the vipaka. There is the karma and the consequence. There's again the pahala, the fruit of karma. When it comes, it is also not sweet, it is bitter. So when we maintain this morality, we assure other beings that we are harmless to them. We don't want to be hurting them. And in return, we don't harm ourselves. There is no consequence of us harming other beings. So we don't harm ourselves, we are protecting ourselves. So sila is protecting all. Yeah? Sila is protecting ourselves as well as others. And it is something that does not give rise to further suffering. I'm sure as lay Buddhists, we already are acquainted with this understanding of sila. And sila is not something that is imposed upon ourselves. We always say, Sikkhapada samadhyami. Sikkhapada means this training. This training, samadhyami, I undertake. I take up this training. I train myself. Yeah, for example, not to kill or hurt other beings. Panatipata, veramani. Veramani means avoid. Panatipata means killing or hurting. Sikkhapada means training. Samadhyami means I take up. I take up training myself to avoid, to prevent, to abstain from killing and hurting other beings. Yeah. Respecting their life, practicing mindfulness, being fully cognizant and aware of the value of life, I refrain myself, abstain myself from hurting and killing other beings. This is a very good training. And this is the basis of all good qualities. Yeah? The reduction of defilements is with this sila also. Yeah? Sila is a form of vinaya. Vinaya, or discipline. Vin means to destroy. Aya means suffering. So vinaya means destruction of suffering. When we cultivate sila, we are destroying present and future suffering. This is the way we lay a very strong foundation for our spiritual growth and maturity. Okay, so there is the sutta the Buddha talked about many occasions. He said, if you want to practice peacefully, for example, when you sit down, do you do meditation? You do meditation at home. You want to be tranquil, peaceful. What is the condition for that? The condition for that is non-remorse. You don't feel that there is a sense of guilt, something that you should do, you haven't done, something you shouldn't do, you have done. Then it prevents us from really relaxing and rejoicing. So non-remorse, what is the condition for that? The observance of virtue and precepts. When we are practicing the precepts very well, very easily, you just sit down, I'm so joyful, satisfied with one's own behavior, with right understanding, feeling totally at ease. There is no guilt and remorse. And there comes tranquility. With tranquility comes serenity and concentration. So it develops from there. So before we do bhavana, also we have to take care that our sila is purely maintained. Our sila is good. And a person with a good sila is always respected by other people. Yeah, it's just naturally there is an aura of respectability in the character and the behavior of someone who observes precepts. Yeah. Even monks who observe precepts are very much loved and respected by others. Yeah, even by other monks. Yeah. A lay person who observes precepts, a parent who observes precepts, somehow has the respectability of the children. You don't have to tell the children, you know I'm a parent or not, you better respect me. Yeah. There is a sense and aura of respectability among siblings also, among friends also. Yeah. I remember Chinese New Year, sometimes when friends gather, I always don't like to gossip. So during the New Year season, they come to my house, they sit around, they use my house as gathering place. And they'll talk, I will just keep quiet. Those days. So when we want to say something on Dhamma, they say, shh, we are talking. In actual fact, they are gossiping. Yeah. Nowadays, different. Yeah. They also have grown, matured already with children. So sometimes when they are talking about other topics, we interject, we say something about Dhamma, and then they tell the children and the husband, shh, I want to listen. Yeah. Last time don't want to listen. Yeah. Now, shh, I want to listen. So that is very good. That is a good thing. So when we observe the precepts also, there is a sense of respectability in our behavior. Yeah. And over time, it transforms us and it affects people in our family. People who come in contact with us, people who work with us, they respect our integrity. They respect our sincerity. They respect our virtue. And it will have a transformative effect on the people that come in contact with us. So this is the power of Sila. The real power of Sila is deeper than that. It eradicates defilements. Yeah, our natural instinct to self-preserve sometimes cause us to harm, to hurt others. But now, after many years of practicing Sila, you might find that you have no intention to harm or hurt other beings. You have no intention of taking things, from the public, taking things from others, asking for more and so on. Those are all the benefits of Sila as well. And you can see that the greed is also reduced. The anger is also reduced. And with greed and anger, jealousy also reduced. You don't compare with others. You more sure, more confident of oneself. That's why the Buddha says in the Anguttara Nikaya, he says a person who has Sila can enter any assembly with self-assurance. Can die unconfused, can die with peace and confidence. Yeah. Just by practicing Sila, a lot of defilements are not operative as well as gradually being rubbed away. So this is the second thing that we do every day, cultivate every day as lay Buddhist. And the third thing is called Bhavana. Bhavana means mental development. It means more than meditation. Of course, when we think about Bhavana, many people say, oh, that's meditation. Meditation is a very important component in mental development, but not the only component, not the only aspect. Bhavana is actually a very wide subject. And as cultivators, as practitioners, there are few things under Bhavana that we do every day. Yeah. The first thing is anusati. Anusati means recollection. Recollect what? Not recollect, oh, what I ate yesterday, what I bought last year, what he gave me for present. Not the worldly recollection, but spiritual recollection. For example, recollect the qualities of the Buddha. We call it Buddha Anusati. Buddha Anusati. Remember the Buddha. Recollect the Buddha. What about the Buddha? The qualities of the Buddha, the virtues of the Buddha. Today, this recollection, we do it as recitation. We only do Buddha Nusati means, oh, recitation. Do you do this? Iti piso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho. You recite every day, right? But in actual fact, this is not just for recitation, it is for recollection. Iti piso bhagava, such indeed is the Blessed One. Arahang, he is an arahant. Arahang. 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 What does it mean, arahang? We recollect the qualities of an arahang. An arahang is one that is remote, far away from suffering. Why is he far away from suffering? Because arihata, he has destroyed the causes of suffering. What are the causes of suffering? Defilements are the causes of suffering. He has eradicated defilements. Arahang means worthy. When he is free from suffering because he has eradicated defilements, he has purity in conduct. When he has purity in conduct, he is worthy. Worthy of what? Worthy of respect, worthy of veneration, worthy of honor, worthy of supporting, worthy of giving gifts, worthy of salutation. Arahang, arahang, arahang. This is recollection. When we recollect, we build our right views as well as right understanding. View means one thing, understanding means another aspect of it. Both combined become samadhi. Samadhi has these two aspects, right view as well as right understanding. Both translations can be combined, right view and understanding. So when we understand this is the Buddha, our teacher is like this. His role is our teacher. Satha Bhagava Savaka Hamasmin. Buddha is my teacher, I am the disciple. When I am the disciple, I try to have the discipline of the disciple. What is the discipline of the disciple? To try to cultivate myself in accordance to the advice given by the teacher. So we try to understand the teacher from this daily recollection. Arahang is just one word, right? Arahang, 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 arahang. Samma sambuddho. What is the meaning of Samma Sambuddho? Again, we investigate. So this is called learning the Dhamma. Learning the Dhamma in order to strengthen what? To strengthen right view and understanding. What is the purpose of strengthening right view and understanding? It is to eradicate wrong view and misunderstanding. When we eradicate wrong view and misunderstanding, then there is no arising and maintaining of defilements. So whatever we do leads towards the eradication of suffering ultimately. So this is what we do every day. Anusati, recollect the qualities and the virtues of the Buddha. Not just recite. Many people, they just recite. More than recitation, we have to examine what it means. Not examine the Pali. Don't take the Pali and put the dictionary and, oh, it means like this. That is useful, but beyond that, to examine the Dhamma. What is the Dhamma contained in this word, Arahant? It's not the meaning of this word, Arahant, but the Dhamma, the spirituality contained in this word, Arahant. Sama Sambuddho, Vijja Charana Sampanno. Sugato, 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 Loka we do. Like that, word by word we recollect. Yeah? It takes some time. Yeah? So spend time wisely means to spend time recollecting these virtues and qualities. How many people do that every day? How many people do recitation every day? Or we call chanting. Very good, chanting. Chanting is to help us remember, right? If I don't chant for some time, I forget. Itipiso bhagawa, what's the next word? I can't remember. But when I do chanting often, then I remember all this sequence. Yeah. Remembering has consequence too. The consequence is the affirming of understanding. Yeah. Now, try not to do the chanting only. Try to do the recollection. The real purpose is to recollect, anusati, not to do chanting. Sometimes habitually we do chanting before we go to work. If that day is slightly late already, then we can do faster chanting. Itiviso bhagavarang sama sambuddham liao liao. Okay. That is not the real. This is not the real purpose. Yeah. So recollect is not an activity. It's spirituality. Yeah. Same thing, we can recollect the qualities of the Dhamma. What is the quality of the Dhamma? Swakhato bhagavata dhammo. This Dhamma is completely, perfectly taught by the Buddha. What does it mean? Completely and perfectly taught by the Buddha. We examine the meaning. Completely taught? How complete is it? Oh, it leads to the complete eradication of suffering. It leads to the complete understanding of reality. It is essential for liberation from samsara. In order to be liberated from samsara, I just need to depend on the Buddha's teaching. I don't have to attend any other subjects, but just this alone is complete. It is perfect because it is taught by a perfect person, and it leads the practitioner to perfection. So that's why it's called Swakhato Bhagavata Dhammo. And why did the Buddha teach this? How was he able to teach it? Because he himself understood it completely and perfectly. He himself have completed the practice and perfected the realization. So you see, from recollection, it builds our right understanding. And that right understanding gives rise to right views. And these right views will help ourselves in the other aspects of bhavana, which I'm going to explain to you shortly. Yeah? You can also recollect the qualities of sangha in the same way. Recollect the qualities and the virtues of metta. We call it metta anusati. Metta is what? Unconditional kindness, friendliness. We call it normally loving kindness. Loving kindness, metta, which is quite accurate. There is a component of the loving feeling, but it is unconditional. It is not depending on other people's response to us. It's just general goodwill to others. So metta also has many virtues. So when we do the recollection of metta anusati, it's very helpful to us to reduce the defilements of anger and dissatisfaction with others, prejudice, grudges. Yeah, some people have grudges many years already. They file away, they forget to see the file. Yeah. Correct or not? Before death, all the file is presented in front of us, then only we know the file become defilement. Yeah. So we cannot file away forever. The defilements, layered upon layer, will in future become the potent, latent defilements. Yeah. Even if we ignore it, later it becomes a latent defilement. We have greed over something, attachment over something. We just say, "Oh, now I have grown beyond that. Now I'm attached to some other thing already." Last time attached to handbag, now no more liking handbag. Now I collect bungalows. No more collect small bag. So that becomes a latent problem later on in life, or in subsequent lives. So the best thing is to recollect all these things, build our understanding, and then cut away our attachment and defilements towards them. Yeah. This is one aspect of bhavana, recollection. Yeah. So please help ourselves by doing this every day. If you need help, then learn more. Learn more from people who practice, people who understand the practice. And all the disciples of the Buddha, when the Buddha was alive, do this every day. The monks do this every day, recollecting things, recollecting virtues and so on. It gives them a sense of direction, a sense of confidence, a sense of faith. You do the recollection of the Dhamma, the qualities of Dhamma, it gives you the confidence and the faith in the Dhamma. And whatever challenges we face in life, we are more apt to use the Dhamma to overcome those challenges, rather than use a worldly way to resolve problems. We will use the Dhamma to resolve the cause of the problems, the root of the problems. If we don't know the qualities, very often many people give the feedback that, I know the Dhamma, I know, but when the time I argue with him, I just forget. I just forgot the Dhamma and I give him kau. So that is because we lack the recollection every day. When we recollect every day, then it becomes very strong. The imprint, the impression is very, very strong, it's very deep. And because it's deep, when you draw from it, when subconsciously you draw from it, you are going to draw from the Dhamma. In fact, it even affects our subconscious state of mind, especially when we are dreaming. When we are dreaming and then suddenly you dream unwholesome things, you say, hey, that's unwholesome. You change the direction. You can change even in a subconscious level. That shows that it has gone deep into our subconscious. So recollection's power and ability is to affect us deeply in the psyche. We cannot be superficial practitioners. Many people are just superficial. Sit here, metta, may all beings be well and happy. What day is metta bhavana here? Wednesday is good day for metta bhavana. Come here, BGF. You sit here and then have all this metta bhavana. It only works in this compound. But if we recollect also the virtues and the use of metta every day, it works everywhere, because it has really gone deep inside, seep through. Jip ki liao, jip sim liao. Otherwise, it's just at the superficial level. Besides recollection, we also do what we call tranquility meditation. We also do tranquility. We cannot just recollect, oh, Buddha is wonderful, Dhamma is wonderful, metta is wonderful, metta is very useful, metta is very beneficial. But if we don't make our mind tranquil, this is the cause of a lot of our unhappiness. What causes this? Proliferation of thoughts. Too many thoughts. Thinking non-stop. Close the eyes, thinking, open the eyes, thinking, close the eyes, thinking even more. Right or not? Very hard going to sleep. Young people as well as those who are elderly are affected nowadays by this proliferation of thoughts. Too many things to think about. But what are those things you think about? Saving the planet? Global warming? Rising sea level? Saving sea turtles? What are the global crises you were thinking about all the time? Anyone trying to solve all these global crises? Then what do you think about most of the time? What to eat tomorrow? Tomorrow morning, what to eat? I go there. 2 days ago, I had that already. Better go somewhere else. This one long time never have already. But go there tomorrow, what time? 8 o'clock, very jam. Then long queue some more. All these things consequential or not? Important or not? Not important. Not important thing for what? Think because habitually thinking. Non-stop thinking. As if thinking can solve problems. Thinking create problems. I gave a talk last week in the north. It was a Saturday. Then I asked, some people are not here today. They're very regular one. Every time I'm there, they're here one. They say, Bratan, I can tanjia. Tanjak means have to work. Yeah. But he actually doesn't need to work, but he just goes to work. So I joke with everyone there. I say, I look at you, I say, in future, if you don't have happiness, if you feel unhappy, I don't think it's because you lack money. Do you think so? Yeah. The reason why many people are unhappy is not because they lack money, it's because they lack peace. They lack peace. They lack peace because there is so much thinking. There's this proliferation of thoughts. And why we think so much? Because we desire a lot. With one desire, you have an endless stream of thoughts. Just like you desire to buy something, eat something, go somewhere, then you will have related thoughts to it. What time to go, whom should I call to go, how to go, how many to buy, and so on. Just because of one desire. When we reduce our desire with few desires, we also don't have the proliferation of thoughts. That's why the Buddha says, Akase padham nati samano nati bahire. Papansa bhirata paja nipapansa tathagata. Yeah. The way of the Buddha, the Dhamma's way, the training in the Dhamma is to reduce and eradicate this proliferation of thoughts. When you sit there, you're not just sitting there and start thinking. Or in order to dull the senses, turn on the music or turn on the TV and just randomly absorb randomly, not aware of what we are doing. Just fill ourselves up with information and noise and so on. Noise outside and noise inside. That internal chatter, non-stop chatting inside. That is a big problem for many people. All these create tension and stress. So bhavana also includes tranquility training. Train ourselves to be tranquil internally. Despite all the problems and challenges that we face, going to work, coming home, the environment, it may be noisy. Living in the city, we have to interact with many other beings, but internally quieten ourselves, have that tranquility. Every day we practice that. And one way is to meditate. Withdraw ourselves within, and even to watch the breath, anapanasati, which we encourage every day. It is a very, very good exercise. Wonderful cultivation. To make the mind tranquil, to make the mind free from defilements, freer and freer for a longer and longer periods of time. And then you find, the desire will reduce and all those other worries, the background anxiety will reduce. Otherwise, when we age, a lot of times, it is not the body that aches us, it is the heart, the mind that pains us more. Correct? It is the mind that pains us more than the body that aches us. But if the mind is healthy, even if the body is aching, for example, we go to Thailand and we see all these ajai, all these old people, and then one day they come bongkok, and then one day they are dragging themselves. Every day they come and do dana and so on. Sometimes they sit on the floor, they get up, very painful. And you ask them, are you okay? Are you in pain? And all they say, yeah, it's like that. They smile and they say, yeah, it's like that. You say, I'm in my 60s already, 70s already. It's like that. Yeah. But in Malaysia, we are very, very anxious. Very anxious. So a little bit must go see specialists. MRI. And then operation, replacement, therapy. Go until US. Go everywhere in order to get all this. We are very, very anxious over this. But in places where they understand Dhamma, they say that Chan Nan Eng is just like that. It's just like the flow. With age, this is the flow of nature. Dhamma is like that. And although the body is aching, the mind is free. The mind is not in pain. So the tranquility is very important. Practice tranquility, not, oh, I want samadhi, I want to watch until like that. Just generally benefiting from being serene about life. You know, if it is very hot outside, you go out, you don't, wow, so hot, so hot, so hot. You know, your car is outside, no shade. Here is so cool. Later when you go into the car, wow, so hot, so hot, so hot. Immediately, we are affected by the environment. There is no deep serenity within us. When we cultivate every day, tranquility, 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 we are very serene. When we face with all the inconveniences, the changing circumstances externally, we still can be very serene inside. The coolness is inside. The heat is everywhere, but the coolness is inside. This is also something we do every day. And the third aspect of bhavana is reflection. Reflection is of utmost importance, but very seldom practiced. We have to reflect every day on our actions and behavior throughout the day and the night. How do we spend it? Did we just spend it fruitfully, or we just wasted one more day? Human life is very precious. To be born human is very rare. But many a times, human beings waste not just their youth, but waste throughout their lives on things that are inessential, on things that has very little meaning and very little purpose towards the ending of suffering. So we pursue all kinds of things. So reflection allows us to really be grounded in the practice that leads to the end of suffering. Yeah, the practice that leads to the end of suffering collaterally brings about greater joy and happiness. That is a side effect. Yeah, if you want to end suffering, you will gain more freedom from suffering, and as a side effect, you have more joy, more happiness, more satisfaction. So Dhamma is not just going for happiness, No, it's to tackle the defilements that we have. When we tackle the defilements, we will find ourselves happier anyway. So don't go for the wrong purpose. Yeah. Now, reflection. How do we reflect? Just like physically, how we reflect, we place a mirror. Yeah, we go in front of a mirror, we place a mirror in front of us and reflect. Yeah. Now, this mirror is not the physical mirror, is the mirror of Dhamma. We call it Dhamma Pariyaya. This Dhamma mirror is the things that we have learned. For example, the things we learned today about Dana, about Sila. Okay, put the mirror, small mirror. Why small? Because learn very little. The more we learn, the bigger the mirror. Small mirror only can see the nose. Yeah, bigger mirror can see the face. Bigger still can see the whole person. So increase the size of the mirror by learning the Dhamma. After learn the Dhamma, okay, the mirror in front of us. Look, when I started the day, when I was conscious, when my eyes didn't open, how was my state of mind? Yeah. Oh, my state of mind is free from hindrances or full of hindrances? Oh, full of hindrances. Why? Because I worry about being late to Sunday service. Worry about where to eat. Why worry? Because of desire. Okay, may I be free from that desire? When we are free from the desire, then we are free from the anxiety, then we are free from the worry. So this is how we tackle the defilements. Then look, after I woke up, what did I do? Whom did I meet? What was my response to that person? What did I say? So throughout the day, we can be very, very careful in our recollection, or very general in our recollection. It again depends also on our sati sampajana. It depends on how mindful and aware we are of our action, of our thinking, of our feeling. The stronger the sati, the sampajana, the finer our reflection. So of all the Dhamma we have learned, it becomes the mirror to our own behavior. And some people are very worried about their own behavior. That's why they don't want to do the reflection, correct or not? They say, oh, your Dhamma says keep the precepts, I cannot keep even one, not even half. So they become worried. But then we want to end suffering. We don't want to suffer. If we don't want to suffer, the natural way is to live in accordance to Dhamma. But if we feel we don't want to live in accordance to Dhamma and we don't want to suffer, then that two things cannot add up. So we make a firm conviction. If I want to end suffering, I live in accordance to Dhamma. If I live in accordance to Dhamma, then I train myself. Every day I have to reflect. When I reflect, this is not proper, I remind myself, don't do this. Don't continue. If this becomes a habit already, replace this with a better habit. Yeah. Sometimes when we, go out, we have aversion towards the neighbor's dog. Every morning when we leave home, we look at the dog, we look down on it. We look down on it. So over the months and years, it becomes a habit. And one day when we reflect and say, hey, how come I have aversion towards this dog? It could be latent or whatever, but that is still unwholesome. I shall stop this bad behavior by replacing it with a good behavior. So consciously build our good behavior. Go out the time, instead of looking down at the dog, look up to the dog. You say, Mr. Dog, how are you? In the mind, may you be well and peaceful, and please don't bark all the time and don't shit in front of my house, okay? Nicely, being nice, being nice. You replace that habit of being averse to the dog with being kind to the dog. Being kind, being kind. And it takes time, it takes effort. To replace habit, a negative one with a positive one, it takes a lot of effort and a lot of determination. But reward yourself. Yeah, at least I did it today. Well done. So when you reflect, today I wasn't averse to the dog. I was kind to the dog. I had kind thoughts when I saw the dog. And when you reflect like that, according to the Dhamma, this is wholesome or unwholesome? In accordance to Dhamma or not in accordance? In accordance to Dhamma. How would you feel? Imagine. How would you feel? Happy or satisfied? Yeah? Happy? Yes. Naturally, the happiness is a driving force. The next day you try, being mindful, do it again. In time to come, that all unwholesome habit would have been replaced with this wholesome one. Starting the transformation process. Next time the dog bark also, you will smile. Last time, barking, you get very agitated. Disturb my peace, disturb my meditation, disturb my meditation. Now when we are meditating and the neighbor's dog bark, it's okay. It becomes background already. We are not latched onto it, take it as an object and have a lot of aversion towards it. Why does the dog need to bark every time I try to meditate? Must be my enemy in the past, prevent me from meditating. That's a proliferation of thoughts already, leading to a lot of defilements. But now, after being kind to the dog, when we are sitting there meditating and the dog barking, we just hearing. It's just the background. It just doesn't matter. It's like the sound of nature already. We don't take it as an object anymore. It doesn't affect us negatively, and we don't have an unwholesome thoughts to react, to respond to it. This works. This is how Dhamma works. So every day take it, reflect. Yeah? And also we need to clear the mirror a little bit. If the mirror is very dusty, if the Dhamma is not clear, you have to clarify. Learn the Dhamma with clarity. Many people say, I need to learn very deep. But the key fact in learning Dhamma is to be very clear. Be clear about Four Noble Truths. Oh, I heard that before. 聽過了. 聽過 means by right 聽接了. 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 聽過哦? Always works. 聽接了. 听接了 then 有深冇，有接深冇。If it is very shallow, then listen another time. Let it sink in. Let it go deep into our subconscious. Let it go deep, so that when something happens, the first reaction is, oh, what happened to the tire? What happened to the saucer? What happened to the dish? Oh, anicca. Immediately it comes anicca. Oh, broken. Oh, anicca. How come that reaction comes first naturally? Because it's deep. Yeah. Otherwise, our first response is always very worldly. Right or not? So let it sink deep. So when we reflect also, it depends on the Dhamma, how clear we are of the Dhamma. So we have to polish that mirror also. We have to make sure that the mirror is very, very clear and it reflects us honestly. And we must have the courage to also face up to our own ugly behavior, but not to accept it. Face up to it, have courage to say, acknowledge it and say, yes, I am at fault. And then how can I move forward with the Dhamma? How can I move forward in a wholesome, noble way? How can I ennoble my behavior? This is how we progress in the Dhamma. If we look at ourselves, we see, oh, this is ugly, I change mirror. Yeah. Many people change religion because of that. They say, oh, this one always say I'm no good, one. I want something that say that I'm good one. Well, other people say we are good or not doesn't mean we become good. Yeah. We ourselves must know whether we are good. In what sense we are good, in what sense we are lacking. We ourselves must have the awareness. We must have the wisdom. So Dhamma is about cultivating this wisdom, this panya also. So in order for us to see, have the courage, have the determination and discipline to overcome, and have the wisdom to understand. And this is the path of progress in Dhamma. Yeah? So this is also again a reflection. Yeah? Another kind of reflection is called pacavekana. When we use things every day. For example, Nalanda, before we eat, we always do reflection on the purpose of food. I take this food not for the taste, not because it's tasty, not because playfully I just have nothing to do, so I just throw in the food. While watching TV, I also munching food. Not for the fattening, beautifying of the body, but I take this food at the right time in order to give me energy to sustain life, to maintain health, so as to enable me to continue with the noble way of life. I need the health so that I can practice, so that I can continue with the noble way of life. So this is called pacavekana. It's also a form of reflection. So with this kind of constant reflection, we are not so attached to the food, by its taste, by its flavor, and by our own clinging. Many people have a favorite food. After some time, I don't have any favorite. I cannot recall having a favorite food. Anything goes. Sometimes we go out with relatives, friends, and then in the north, they eat. They say, this one kway teow no good. That side better. Then I taste. Okay good 都不要吃啦。我吃了不吃，我吃了 OK 我吃啊。Because taste becomes not your priority anymore. After you have reflection, taste is just a minor thing. It's just rasang. It's just taste, flavor. One of the derivatives, one of the effects of cooking is the taste. So you don't actually go for taste anymore. So whatever you taste becomes good. So this is called hokkhi jia. Everything you taste is good. Rather than if you are so into taste, sometimes you have it good, sometimes you have it no good. So ile bo hokkhi jia. So hokkhi jia, those who really have a very good karma, when you taste anything also good. So this is again another effect of reflection. Similarly, you reflect on what you use daily, your clothes, the place you stay, and so on. Reflect, what is the purpose of having a place to stay, your abode? Yeah. What is the purpose of having a house? Yeah. So if we are not careful, we overbuild and we overburden ourselves. Yeah. Why? Because there are many psychological things. House must be big, bigger, biggest. Like that. Why? What drives us? Is it our needs? So this kind of reflection grounds us in living a way that leads to peace. We develop santuti. Santuti means a sense of contentment. Even when we are very wealthy, beyond material wealth is a wealth of contentment. Contentment is a wealth. We have material wealth, we also have mental and spiritual wealth. And santuti paramang dhanang. Santuti, contentment, is the highest form of wealth. It doesn't depreciate. Our material wealth appreciates and depreciates, it changes. It always is conditioned. But santuti, contentment, is said to be paramang dhanang, the highest wealth, because it does not depreciate. It does not change by external conditions. It gives us the sense of wealthy, being wealthy, and that is not conditioned upon the value of property. So that's why it's called the highest wealth. So as people, when we don't learn Dhamma, we only value success, value happiness, value wealth in a worldly sense. But after we learn Dhamma, success has a spiritual quality to it. For example, every day when we reflect, oh, since I was conscious in the morning, when I opened my eyes, when the first time I opened my mouth, when I started to act, until now, before I go to bed, I have not hurt or harmed anyone, including myself. That day is a very successful day. Very successful day. You are a successful person. Since morning until now, I share with people a little bit of food in the morning. I share with the birds the leftover food from last night. I give a pet to the dog, my neighbor's dog. I smile to my neighbors and all the people along the streets. I gave some encouragement to my children. I gave motivation to my husband. I practice bhavana. Overcoming the habits of defilements. That day, you are a very successful person. You share things with others. It doesn't matter the value. That day, you are a very wealthy person. That day, you are a very happy person. If you live day by day like that, guided by the Dhamma, anchored by the Dhamma, how not to be happy? Bo hoa si bo kho hoa hi jin jia kho ling. 对不？听得不？知吧？ So this is the reflection we do on a daily basis. Yeah, and with all the build up of all this understanding over time, the transformation that happens is called wisdom. Panya udapat. Wisdom arises. And we see things differently. Vijja udapat. Aloko udapat. With wisdom comes the ability to see things differently and see light in situation. The light is from inside already. It's not reflected light from outside, but the light has been ignited from within. You can see things very, very differently. Yeah. Just to illustrate a story, many times when we have a disagreement with others, we can see the unhappiness, we can feel the unhappiness, but we cannot ascribe the reason for our unhappiness. So always we blame other people. Sometimes we blame ourselves. But with the light, with the wisdom from our daily practice, we blame neither. We don't blame others, we don't blame, but we see really with wisdom the real causes and conditions. And we just focus to tackle on that. And we can overcome it, and we can become successful, joyful, and happy. Yeah, that's a wonderful reflection at times also. People are capable of very selfless things. Everyone started off being selfish, right? But there are also many people who are selfless. And even selfless people started off being selfish. So although today we are still self-centered, but that doesn't mean we are incapable of being selfless. What we need to do is to cultivate ourselves daily on these three very important factors: dana, sila, and especially bhavana. Yeah. Dana and sila gives us a strong foundation for bhavana. Dana, being generous and kind and thoughtful of others. Don't put ourselves at the center, but put the needs of everyone in our life equally with equanimity. Is a strong foundation for good behavior. When we see the other beings that are connected in our lives, because we share our lives already, now the food is shared with you, so we share something, a connection in common already. There's something there. We have built a community with dana. Because of that, we see their needs, we see their suffering, and that forms the strong foundation and basis for sila. We don't want to harm them already. What for? We shouldn't. They are suffering too. Just as much as we want happiness, they too want happiness. So it forms firm grounds for sila. And firm grounds of sila form the foundation for mental cultivation, bhavana. So when we have sila, the bhavana also will progress. With these three practices, dana, sila, bhavana, daily, this is called progress in the Dhamma. So progress in the Dhamma is not, oh, once a year I go for cleansing. Cleansing. How to cleanse? I also don't know. Because the Buddha never teach cleansing. Yeah? Did the Buddha teach cleansing that you know of? No. Never. The Buddha teach purifying. How to purify? Thoughts, speech, conduct. To be free from defilements is considered pure. Full of defilements is considered impure. That's what the Buddha taught. So it has to be tackled on a daily basis. So when we do this daily, we see ourselves increasing in spirituality and joy. And there is an aura of confidence. Yeah? There is also this peace. When you come in contact with people, they feel the peace within you. They feel the kindness. They can feel your generous spirit. They feel that you are a good person. Yeah, they just feel it. Animals also can feel it. They feel you are a very, very good person, very genuine and very authentic. And this is a successful life, my dear friends. A very wealthy life. One that is free from remorse, free from regret. One that we call msi pet pet lai. It's not just in vain. Yeah. So this is the path of Dhamma. And this is the way to the eradication of suffering. Don't misunderstand by thinking that other people can do this for us. Oh, this very powerful master, very powerful teacher, I just give a little bit of money and then he will do for me 49 days. And after that, my karma cleanse. Then I have no obstacle and all those things. This is due to not understanding Dhamma, that we have this kind of thoughts. When we understand Dhamma, we have right thoughts. When we don't understand, we can have all kinds of misinformed thoughts, deluded thoughts, wrong views. So when we learn Dhamma, right views, right understanding, right thoughts start to develop. When we develop ourselves, this happiness comes naturally. We don't ever have to ask for, may I be happy? We just work on ourselves, get the mirror and just work on ourselves. We don't have to ask for, may I be peaceful. It just happens because this is Dhamma. Dhamma is this natural way. It just flows like that. You don't have to wish, may all water flow down according to gravity. It's just like that. Dhamma is so too. Okay? So with that, I'd like to wish everyone happy practice. Happy practice. Yeah? Sarosa. We have the great conditions for practice, haven't we? Yeah? Do you have great conditions? Yes. Yeah? We have the will to practice. Yes. You have time to practice. Yes. Put in more time. Yeah. Put in more time. Balance your well-beings, physical well-being, mental well-being, spiritual well-being, with family and career too. Balance. Yeah. Be successful in family and career. But success sometimes are very short-sighted success. Sometimes you just have a quick win, but in the long term you lose. In order to have success in all these spheres, physically, mentally, spiritually, family as well as career, use the Dhamma as the principle and as the anchor for us to develop ourselves. It might not have immediate effect. It depends. It might not have immediate effect in many cases, but it has a lasting effect. Yeah? It might not be immediate. Immediate when you follow Dhamma way, you don't naturally get rich very fast. But it depends also. But it will last a long time. Yeah? It might last many lifetimes. So it is a surer way of being happy and successful for a very long time. Okay? And remember what we said in the beginning, to learn Dhamma is not to, oh, may I be happy, may I be joyful, may I forget all my suffering, ha ha ha. It's not like that. Yeah? Dhamma is not ha ha Dhamma. Yeah? Dhamma is work on the causes of unhappiness and suffering. Eradicating that, one of the side effects, very, very positive side effect, is happiness. That's even better. So don't just pursue happiness. Yeah? Don't just pursue happiness, because that is conditional. That's also sankhara. That's conditional. But when we eradicate defilements, one of the benefit is increasing and deepening happiness. You just sit in the evening and just the dog barking next door also, you smile. When you have all this semut, what do you call that? Kapi, ba. Yeah, what do you call in English? Pains and needles and numbness, you also smile. Oh, like that also can smile. Smile. Headache a bit, smile. Something must be right. Yeah? Something must be right. In the face of challenges, you are tranquil. Something is very right. Not something is very wrong. Something is very right. Correct or not? So when you practice like that, the lasting effect and the deepening impact is there. Dhamma is the way. Is it your way? Okay, few Buddhists here. Dhamma is the way. Yeah? Dhamma is the way. Okay? So I'd like to maybe hear some comments and maybe question and from the floor. So thank you very much for paying attention. I hope 唔是聽過呀，聽接了。Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Is there time for questions? Yeah. Anyone would like to give comments or some questions? Yes. Unless the rat can come out from the cage, I think the fate is sealed. Yeah. So maybe many people do this. Yeah, they bring it to a place where there is no habitation, and then they release the rat in the forest or in somewhere where there are no houses nearby. And rats are survivors, so even in a changed environment, they are most likely to survive. Yeah? So you can release it, yeah? Or ask someone brave to release it for you. Okay. Yeah. How do thoughts arise? Yeah, we call the proliferation of thoughts. Sometimes you sit there, it's like without much triggering. I'm not thinking about that, but then suddenly that subject crops up. Yeah, all these are latent from our past interactions, from our unresolved interactions in the past. So they are latent. So sometimes it appears to be randomly appearing. Yeah. We thought the issue was resolved 25 years, 30 years ago, but somehow that argument came out again at this age, at this stage of life. So we just acknowledge that thought and then work on it if we can. Yeah. But speaking about proliferation, yeah, why there is this proliferation of thoughts is because we lack generally in the practice of samadhi. We lack tranquility. And that is why thoughts are predominant. Thoughts are very active, yeah, because the samadhi factor is not strengthened. There are 5 faculties that give rise to 5 strengths. And the 4th factor in the 5 faculties is called samadhi. Samadhi means tranquility. Yeah. So if we develop our dana, sila, bhavana, as a consequence, these 5 faculties also have a very strong foundation, and that tranquility will reduce proliferation over time. Okay. For example, our senses. Yeah, usually when we go to a place, we look around all over, trying to find things that attract us, right? So we go everywhere, we look, listen, smell, touch, feel our way around. Mapping it in our mind. All these will later cause proliferation. Yeah? Whatever sensual input that we get, it will be stored there, latent, and later it will develop into proliferation of thoughts. And that is why people who go for practice of meditation, they reduce the exposure to the external stimuli. They maintain mindfulness on a neutral object such as breathing. Nowadays, if I have to wait, I wait a lot. Have to wait at the terminal, wait for the train, wait for the aeroplane, wait for people to come, wait for people to go, waiting. Whole day I have to wait. While waiting, yeah, I don't want to browse around, look around. Now I train myself while waiting at the terminal, let's say airport terminal, just sit there and close the eyes, reduce all the chatter around, find a quiet place to sit, and just watch a neutral object such as the breath. After some time, you will find that there is not so much proliferation of thoughts. So the more desire we have, the more thoughts are triggered. And the more sensual things that we are exposed to, the more materials for thoughts. Thoughts have to be about something. Yeah, thoughts cannot be thinking thought. It has to be about something, about a person, about a conversation, about an object, about a combination of those things. The more things we are exposed to, the more materials for our thoughts. The more desire we have within, even though unconsciously those desires are there, subconscious desires are there, the more thoughts are triggered. So this is why there is a proliferation of thoughts. The Buddha's way is to train non-proliferation of thoughts, and that is by applying the factor of sati sampajana as well as samadhi, yeah? Mindful awareness as well as the practice of tranquility. Okay, I hope that gives a bit of clarity there about why proliferation occurs.
Any more question? Last question?
Two more.
On Sila, meditate. Doctor mentioned practice non-remorse. Can Doctor elaborate a little on this one?
Remorse means a sense of guilt and regret. I shouldn't have done it. So that is the feeling of remorse. I shouldn't have done it. Meaning to say, I know what is to be done, I know what is not to be done, but I did not the right thing. So that gives a sense of guilt and regret. So that is called remorse. But when we have followed the precepts, for example, when we observe the precepts very well, and when we do the reflection, we have no remorse. The sense of non-remorse is joy and satisfaction. We call that piti. In Pali, we call it piti. There is just joy. There is the joy of non-remorse. Okay? And because of non-remorse, the mind is not agitated. When the mind is not agitated, easy for us to do the meditation, tranquility. Yeah? Does that clarify it, sister? Okay. Yes, Ren.
Brother, supposing there are termites in your house, how do you get rid of them without harming them? Can you send metta to them?
I'm not an expert on termites. I think it's a very difficult question. It's something practical that we have to deal with, yeah? So perhaps we can get some expert advice, people who have experience in what you call getting rid of termites. Yeah, I don't mean the exterminators. But I know of a story a few years ago. You probably have heard, some of you may know, a very, very wonderful devotee. And he shared with me, he had a house here in PJ, and he was trying to sell the house. But the house, unfortunately, built of wood, has been infected with termites. So they say there is no way that they are going to kill it, and they don't want to sell it to another owner and keeping this information from them. So he decided to inform the potential buyer that unfortunately this house is infected with termite. And say, because of that, I'm willing to negotiate and give you a discount. And to his surprise, the potential buyer said, it's okay, I appreciate your honesty. I will not ask for a further discount. This is a fair price. And he sold his house. So with full disclosure of the situation of the termite infestation of his house. So this is one example, one encounter I had. But personally, I haven't faced with the problem of a termite infestation. Yeah. So perhaps we can look around for people who have that experience. Yeah. Okay. And in buildings also in our climate, in our country, it's very common to be infested with not just termites, but ants and also other kinds of pests. Yeah. There is a way of mutual coexistence. There is a way that we can live in harmony. A lot of people are fearful, but actually there are many buildings in Thailand, in Burma, that are termite infested also, but they have been standing for 100 years, 150 years. They didn't collapse. Yeah. Somehow the termites know their limits. You just a lot of metta to them and say, I don't want to harm you, so you shouldn't harm me too. Let's all live in harmonious coexistence. And sometimes it works. It works. Like for example, ants are moving. Oh, I respect you are now moving your what you call your nest from here to there. Okay, it's within the compound of my house, but anyway, happy moving. I have to walk here every day, so I give you 2 days. Is it okay? Please shift out. Double what you call double time also never mind. But please, I give you 2 days, okay? And within 2 days they clear off. Like that. So negotiate, huh? Always negotiate first. Yeah? Try that mental connection with them. And people who live in the forest also have to deal with this. When I was practicing also for a short period of time, we live in the forest. Oh, there are all kinds of things we have to coexist with. The common things are civets, wild boars. They come every night. They're rooting below, and then when you're trying to sit, when you're trying to sleep, they root below, and then they chase themselves around. And civets are on top of the roof, and bats are through your kuti, and geckos and lizards and ants and all kinds of things, right? And then you realize that, human beings don't own this world. We merely coexist. And when we change our psyche, when we change our thinking, when we change our view and perception, transformation happens. See? The inability to change all these things make us stuck. We are facing dilemma. It's a problem. And that problem sometimes is not a problem when we just change. A lot of problems arise because of proliferation of thoughts. We think too much and too far. What if, if not, what if, what if. That kind of thing create a lot of tension. But when we just Dhamma, it is natural. A lot of problems just fade away. So people who follow Dhamma, I would say 90% of our problems potentially will just disappear. In life, we just deal with the problems that are obvious, that comes with age and so on. Yeah? Okay? Thank you for asking, sister. You? Listen.
Just wanted to share that I heard, sorry, because of this brother's inquiry, I thought since I know, I will share it, that I listened to Bhante Agachita's talk. There was a talk that he was trying to handle this termite thingy, because there's a lot of wood in SBS, right? So, but I cannot remember exactly what he used, but it was some natural herbs to allow the termite to sort of stop infesting the place. Probably might have to go back to some of his tapes to listen to it. Yeah.
Or you can ask him directly, send an email.
Yeah.
And ask.
He dealt with
Yeah.
that problem before.
Yeah, I believe in Thailand there's certain oil that has been used. Certain oil. Of course, they have a good hardwood as well, but on top of that, to further prevent rotting and infestation, they apply some kind of oil, natural oil. It doesn't kill them, but it prevents them from coming. Right? So this is something that we can do preventive. Right? Yes.
Okay, Brother Tan. Nowadays, I heard that a lot of people say that life is short. We have to experience life. Okay. Then I also, a few days ago, I heard that some of the friends, relatives passed away, quite young. So can Brother Tan share that? What does it mean by experience life? For example, like if a person, like, you see the world is so big. By experience life, that does it mean that if a person they like to travel, should they travel and see the world, or should they? In what way that a person can really experience life before he or she like one day pass on? Thank you.
People have different ideas about life, and this is not just today. It has always been like that. When they started to have a lot of desire, a lot of proliferation of thoughts, they also have a proliferation of ideas, and a lot of philosophies about how to live. And many people say you must maximize your experiences in life because life is short. So they say play hard. Play hard. But for a person who understands and practices Dhamma, we also understand that life is precious. Yeah, long or short, life is life. Life, no matter how long or short, every day is still precious. And because of that, we want to experience life. To a Dhamma practitioner, experiencing life means experiencing truth, understanding reality. To people without this Dhamma, they just want to experience pleasure. Pleasure is not everything about life. It is only a part, a sensual part of life. A material life, a worldly life. So for a Dhamma practitioner, the way we think about things is very different. It's based on Dhamma. So experiencing life is experiencing truth, is experiencing the Dhamma. In the world, the Buddha says, Anda bhute puttu jhane. This world, with so many beings, with so many worldlings, mostly are blind. There are three categories of beings. One, the Buddha said, Anda bhute, blind one. Second category of being is eka cakung, one eye, cipeng baciu. Third category of being dvicaku, nopeng baciu. So blind means don't know what is the meaning and purpose of life. Don't know how to be successful in life. Just bumbling through life. People say this is good, they do this. Later they hear something else, they do something else. Just fumbling through the span of time called life. So this is called blind. At the end, they have experienced pleasure, they have experienced suffering, but they have not experienced truth. There is no gain in wisdom. So it's from darkness to darkness, blind. The second category of being, eka cakung, cipeng baciu, one eye. This eye, they can see success, and they can see the way to success. But that success is worldly success only. They can be very rich, very powerful, very influential. They can have a very good reputation. In other words, material and worldly success. But they don't have the other eye to see beyond worldly success is greater and deeper success, spiritual success. They cannot see that. But a person with wisdom has developed himself or herself, has dvicaku, two eyes. Nopeng baciu kwa ka chengcho. One eye can see what is worldly success, but the other eye can see beyond worldly success. That's dvicaku, fully conversant and fully cognizant of what is success and what is happiness. So many people are blind, but others that can see only see with one eye. Tiobo, how many eyes we have? Two eyes. This is how the Buddha says it. And one of the reflection we do every day, in fact, this is a very important sutta in the Anguttara Nikaya, Book of 5. Now that you mentioned life is short, we have to do this reflection. Do we have some time? 5 minutes? Up to me? Okay. Then about 1 hour. This reflection is very important, the Books of 5. It says there are 5 things we need to recollect, reflect on every day. The first thing is, I am subject to old age. I'm not free from old age. I am subject to aging. I'm not free from old age. Yeah, this is the first reflection, helpful and beneficial, that we should do every day. Correct or not? Because not every day we think of this. Yeah. Last time young, we never think of this. Now old already, also never think of this, because we are distracted by so many other things, including marketing and what you call all the products, all the advertisements. You say, look young, look 20 years younger, apply me, use me every day, look 30 years younger, and so on and so forth. The whole culture of youthfulness. Yeah, sometimes we are distracted by that, and we don't fully realize that we are subject to aging. We are not free from old age. This is the first reflection that is useful. It gives us grounding to say that now I am very able to do many things physically and mentally, but it comes a time when I'm not so strong. Therefore, I should not be boastful, immodest, and conceited. I should be grounded. Even though I'm able, but I'm still modest. I just do it without boasting about it. And remember, aging is coming. I have to respect the elders and so on. Yeah, because one day I too will be like that. The second reflection is, I am subject to sickness. I'm not free from ill. You know, when we are healthy, we seem like invincible. Everything also can eat. We sometimes become immoderate in our lifestyle. You know, but remember that we are subject to sickness. We can become ill. So have to take good care of ourselves and reduce the conceit of healthiness. Sometimes we are just, you know, very, very conceited, being very healthy. Youthful and healthy, we become conceited. The third reflection is, I'm subject to death. I'm not free from death. This is a very important. Marananusati is like that, to recollect what it means to die. Yeah, this is what I do every day also. When I get up in the morning, I say, oh, I'm still alive. I'm very, very happy and grateful. Yeah, very happy and grateful. When I go to the office, when I go to the center, first thing is when we sit down and say, I thank all my karmic conditions to allow me to live another day. As long as I live today, I will benefit other beings. I will live in accordance to Dhamma, and I will help my very best to advance Buddha Sasana. Whatever things that I use today, I'm grateful for all the donors. My parents, my teachers. Those nameless and those selfless. I don't know what has contributed my karma to be able to do this today. I'm thankful to all that thing. Whatever decision I make today, may it bring benefit and happiness to the community. May there be no remorse. May there be no unwholesome actions. May my actions and life be noble today. Now this is the reflection to start the day. So when you go to office tomorrow, you can also do the same. Start something with grounding. So these reflections, thinking that I'm going to age, I'm going to get sick, I'm going to die, gives us that very important grounding for us to make good use of our time. Yeah. The fourth reflection that is important is, whatever that is dear to me, whatever that I spend effort in getting, in possessing, in owning, when I die, everything will be permanently separated from me. Our life is impermanent, and all these possessions that we hold dearly to will be permanently separated from us, including our dearest and loved ones. Everything. There's nothing that we can bring with us. And this will reduce our attachment to material things as well as to relationship and so on. We know this is nature. And the fifth thing is, whatever I do, wholesome or unwholesome, there is a consequence. Sabbe sata kama asaka. All beings have karma as a consequence. So we become very responsible for our behavior and action. So these are the 5 daily reflections that are very, very helpful, and the Buddha encouraged everyone to practice this as well. So life indeed is uncertain. Life is sometimes not short. Some people complain too long. You know, when we are not well, when we are suffering, we say, why life so long? Yeah? Not always short. Life is life. But no matter long or short, life is uncertain. Because of that uncertainty, we have to anchor ourselves. Yeah? So to experience life, according to a Dhamma practitioner, is to experience truth. It's not to experience pleasure. It's not seeking after pleasure. Yeah? Because pleasure is more impermanent than our life. Correct or not? Yeah? After a whiff, after a taste, after sight, after listening, everything is just nothing. The Buddha asks, why should the impermanent chase after the impermanent? If we are already impermanent, shouldn't we chase after the permanent? If you are impermanent and you chase after something even more impermanent, when you got it, you got nothing. See? So since we are impermanent, why not get the permanent? And what is permanent? Nibbana is permanent. Okay? So that answers the question. As a practitioner, if we have 2 eyes, yeah, we will experience life. The way we think about experiencing life is experiencing the truth. There are 2 types of language here. One is called Pasakon. Pasakon means normal language, normal talk, conventional language. The second one is called Pasa Tham, or Dhamma language. When we hear success, conventionally it means high position, lots of wealth, recognition, fame, popularity. Those are images that we conjure up when we hear the word success. Big handbag, famous labels, all those things. Yeah, lifestyle, success. When we talk about wealth, also it conjures up all these kinds of things. Yeah. When we talk about what you call happiness, traveling, lots and lots of countries we go, posing here and there, eating many kinds of things, buying many kinds of things, and so on. But when we talk about Dhamma, when we have two eyes, that is with one eye. But when we have two eyes, when we talk about success, with two eyes, we see things differently. With one eye, we see success as lots of money and big position. But with two eyes, we see stability, harmony, tranquility, serenity, ability to overcome defilements, ability to overcome the negativity. That is greater success. A lot of people are unhappy despite being very successful, so-called. Very stressed, very unhappy, very insecure. But with two eyes, we see success differently. We see wealth differently. And we see happiness differently. It's not how much we eat, how many places we see. It's what we see and how we eat. When we eat with gratitude and satisfaction, you are very successful and happy. A simple drink. This one, plain water only, right? No tea. Even that, when you drink, it quenches more than your thirst. That is happiness. See? So, be a person with two eyes. Don't have only one eye. And worse still, don't be blind. So I wish everyone the best of practice and realization. Okay? Continue. Strive on with diligence. Yeah? Thank you very much. Thian jib leo. Suki hotu. Yeah?
The lead us in the sharing of credits.
Yeah, you can lead.
You lead that.
How do you normally do it?
Anything up to you.
So today is Uposatha Day, the full moon day. Before we leave the hall, let us all together dedicate merits. Yeah, dedicate merits to our teachers. Yeah, without our teachers, we don't have this opportunity to come in contact with Dhamma. Also appreciate our good karma. Something that we have done in the past that allows us today, this life, to come in contact with the true Dhamma. And also have gratitude towards our parents who give us life, our family members, our relations, our colleagues. So many factors that allow us to experience Dhamma in daily life. Whether pleasant or unpleasant experiences, there is Dhamma to be had there. There's Dhamma to be seen there. There's Dhamma to be realized daily. So please be thankful to all the conditions. Sometimes suffering allows us to see the Dhamma clearer than when we are happy. So please be thankful for that too. So with this kindness, with this abundant generosity, let us dedicate merits to all beings. May all beings sharing these merits be free from physical suffering, free from mental suffering, and be free from harm and danger. May all beings sharing these merits find peace, happiness, and success in life. May all beings be well and happy. May all beings be well and happy always. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And may you too be successful and peaceful always. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Tan, for the wonderful sharing. On behalf of BJ, we'd like to present a small token of appreciation. Brother Tan is having a very busy schedule. He has 2 more meetings and 1 briefing to do in Labs, and so let's yeah. Your Brother Tan can come back for next year. Thanks. Okay.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Salute. For those who are staying back, kindly join us at BGF Cafe. We have prepared a lot of home-cooked meals.
So dear devotees, do join us at the BGF Cafe downstairs. Okay, there are 2